Okay, welcome back. We're finna get into a very interesting topic today. We're finna discuss the PDA rate matrix. Before we get into that, let's review what we already covered. We covered DXY, SMT, and we also did daily and weekly profiles. And today's topic is going to be about the PDA rate matrix and defining price ranges. So that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so PD array, in my opinion, is very simple. I think people complicated it like out of control. Like it just I'm a very simple person. I like to make things very simple. So I'm gonna try to break this down to you guys the best way I can. Um, let's see. So essentially, you have a range that you kind of would like if you have a range, just imagine a range. In that range you want to identify where you are in the market. It's that simple. Like just think about you literally being inside a range and you don't know where to buy, where to sell, you're lost. The PD array can help you navigate yourself out of that situation where you feel as if you don't know where you're going at. You know, the PD array is very powerful because it's somewhat of like a tool you can use to identify your situations and how you can capitalize on future situations with time and price. Um, to essentially, it's just basically a tool that identifies where you are in the market and kind of you can project what you're going to do in the future. And that's essentially what it is. And the reason why I have these two, like a penny written out on this side and then a dollar on the other, is because premium and discount is more so like overbought and oversold conditions. So, you know, say if you're inside a range and you're on a higher time frame and you come down here, like you would be looking for a sale. Like you will be looking to keep selling off because you're in an oversold position. So since it's red, so it's kind of telling you to actually take advantage of the sale. That's kind of what I learned from it. And if you're in a deep green position, you would want to take advantage of the green. So that's essentially what it really is. So overbroad would be like if you're deeper in the green section versus oversold, you're deeper in the red section, and it just kind of give you some type of like understanding of where you are in the market and future time and price, like time and price is moving forward in the future. Now that being said, we want to, of course, break it down, and we're going to get more into detail about how you can like utilize it. So let's continue on. So this is something that I feel as if everybody need to learn, defining price ranges. So this is how I view my price ranges, and also with PDRA. This is my perception of what PDRA is. This is what works for me. Like everybody have their own like they have their own idea of what something is and what it is and what it is. I don't care. I'm not here to complicate anything. I'm here to make it simple for you. So this is my perception of what the PDRA matrix is and how I use it to my advantage. So defining the price range, this is something separate from that. But we want to get back to the PDRA matrix. But I think this right here is more important to understand. This is the deeper meaning behind the PDRA matrix, is also the deeper meaning behind range creations. Anything that's dealing with any impulse and then impulse retracements. This is going to help you out. This is something I thought that would literally help you guys out a lot. So imagine this right here being this is your trend, right? You're going in the upward direction. That's your trend. So imagine this black line being your trend, and imagine this being your retracement. So if this is your trend going up and this is your retracement going down, and this is a continuation play, right? Say if this is what we did. Came down here, continued up. This level of the overall range is 0.25. See? Now, let's say if we go lower, let's get rid of all this gibberish. Say if we go lower on the trend, right? We go up here and come down there. This is your 50, right? But price continued up. So we got the 25, got the 50. Then we also got, go up, go down, we got the 75. See? So 0, 25, 50, 75, 100. You guys probably have heard about this before. It's almost like fib levels, value numbers, whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter. Just the message is what's going to, just receiving the message. The thing is, when price go up and come down to 25, this signifies a strong trend. When price go up and come down to the 50, it signifies a normal trend. If it goes up and comes down to the 75, which is what this is right here, this signifies a weak trend. Now, here's the game changer. When price surges up, retrace down, and go below the 75, anything below the 75, even taking out the actual low of this, if price go anywhere below here in this area is reversal signal. See, this is key. Because you want to be able to identify when it's time to act, when the overall price action is breaking down. And this is like one of the first stages that will literally put you on the next level of being aware of when to actually look for price action. So this is a very powerful teaching. So please take notes. So when price break down below that, take out that low or break below that 50, it's a signal reverse. It's a reversal signal. You should be gauging in on price action to take advantage of retracements that come up here. Let's see. You should be gauging in on retracements that could possibly break here and come up here inside this range to then go down. Because what? We identified that this is a reversal signal. So sometimes you can catch different plays in that market, you know? So just understand that. Now, as you can see, the deeper the retracement is, the weaker the continuation is. And that's essentially what we're looking at right here. And if it does come below the 75 and it break below the, take out the low, that's a strong indication of, some people call it change of character, some people call it break of structure, whatever you want to call it, that's a strong indication that price should surge lower. So just understand that. I'm gonna try to write something right now. I'm gonna give you an example. So say if this was something like that, right? Look at this. What does that look at you? Head, shoulder. It's literally in your face. Say if it does something like See if it does something below. Instead of stopping at the 100, it go below. It takes it out eventually. What does this look like to you? Come on. It's happened. It happens a lot in the market. So just back test this. This is way more powerful than understanding the PDO. I mean, both is good to know, but this is a very powerful, um, like teaching. And please implement this into your actual trading journey. You'll be able to kind of like engulf yourself into like the actual algorithm of what the market is doing. Just back test it, because it's just if you just sit here and just think about it, like the algorithm know like when price break below here, it knows that there's liquidity sitting there. You know, like you have to find something that works for you every day and stick to it. You know, so don't try to go against what this is telling you if it's telling you something, if that makes sense. Don't try to go against it. Like you gotta like kind of get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like you don't need to know everything about the market. You just gotta understand what works for you. Because you're never going to be able to know everything about the market and you're never going to be right every time. So learning your own algorithm is how you're going to be able to become a better trader. And some people may try to take advantage of moves like this and go vice versa, you know, which is that may be their trading plan. But this is a trading plan, trading concept that you can actually utilize that I've seen work. So just take that with you and run with it. Let's move on. So just think about like what I just taught in the previous slide. Just remember this, and let's continue on to actually combining the both together as far as the PDL rate and the actual retracement levels. So PDL rate matrix, you got a strong trend. As you can see, like we previously spoke about, rejection from the 25% signifies a strong trend. In the actual in the premium area, and they continue up. Same thing with normal trend. Normal trend comes back hit the 50, continue up. So nothing different. We're gonna get way more in detail about the equilibrium. So that's another aspect of what the PDRA matrix is. Okay, so weak trend, you know, as it comes up, hits 75, like we spoke about before. It's a weak trend. Here's our reversal signal. Anything below the 75, below 75, comes up, comes down, hit the 50%, reverse. Because what? It broke below the 75. It broke below the 0.75 threshold, which is a signal that the market structure has changed over, change of character, whatever you want to call it. We'll keep it simple. That's an indication that price is going bearish. Well, one of the first indications that price is going bearish. Right here is basically, take notes, guys. So this is a bigger drawing of the premium direct discount. And this over here to the right is the concepts that you probably have heard about on the internet. And you have learned, you know, through ICT and just different, you know, just different people. And what it is the equilibrium is in the middle, as you can see. You want to, when you're trading with the PDRA matrix, just when you're inside a range, all this is saying is like all it's saying is like look for different like concepts. Like these are PDRAs like on a lower time frame. Like that's the real meaning about what these are. Like I remember ICT was teaching about it. It was saying the same thing. It's essentially, you know, it's just fair value gaps you might find inside the range. You want to look at it, and from the perspective of how the count is, like how it's counted is going up, this one's going down. So the strength of these concepts are from least to greatest. So like supposedly when you're looking at certain like price ranges, this is what would happen on a range, and you will want to gauge in. So the thing is, don't spend too much time on this. This doesn't matter. Like it does not matter, because at the end of the day, your edge is your edge. Like whatever you're looking for, it can be a breaker. You're looking for a breaker, that's your edge. So don't get too caught up in like understanding thousand concepts and how they're, like how they work well together and what's more important next. No, whatever you're looking for every day and it's there, or it happens commonly and it gives you an edge in the market, you focus on that. So don't get too mixed up in all this. Just understand that these are like, this is a kind of small representation of like how you would read a range if you do see a fair value gap, or if you do see a bullish breaker. But this is not important, you ask me, because it's subjective. This is very subjective, you ask me. But all it just signifies like the range breakdown. As you can see, the equilibrium, it will be in the middle, and you got different like concepts and stuff like that. So like okay, so let's get into this. So like basically, we're gonna get into like the equilibrium, how powerful it is. So the equilibrium is a very powerful like level inside the PD array, just like the 50 on the Fibonacci, just whatever. The 50% value is a very powerful level because the algorithm understand the threshold between over like buyers and sellers. So if you think about it, the 50% of the level is like kind of like the difference maker of understanding what the algorithm is trying to actually convey. Like it's something that's it's a threshold. So if I tell you that I know where the buyers are and the sellers are, but I know exactly where the neutral zone is, then you should understand that it's only like the fair value of the actual PD array. And the fair value meaning it's where price rebalance the most. Like we spoke about earlier with price, like range creation, like it's more so like the 50% is more so like a normal occurrence. It's a normal trend. If you go back and look in your charts, you back test, you will see that the 50% it get hit all the time. Like sometimes you might see price and it might hit the 61.8, it might hit the 70, it might hit the 80, the 76.8. Like you got throughout the years of like trading, you got so many educators that came out and they this 80% is the magic number. They say, hey, 50%, 61 to the 50% is the magic number. 70%. So it's like, don't get too caught up in like things like that. Don't get too caught up in that. If that works for you and that's part of your edge, and you have found success in it, embrace it and strengthen it. But if you haven't, just don't get too caught up in it. Like don't get into the trading cycle of thinking that these levels down here are such powerful levels and things like that. If it works for you, keep doing it. I'm not taking from this. I know guys that use the Fibonacci levels and they work well for them. But I'm just making sure you keep your head clean of things that kind of will go against your actual future trading consistency, so you can kind of get there quicker. But just understand the big takeaway from this is the 50% is a very powerful level. It's the threshold between the buyers and the sellers. Price is very sensitive at that level. I'm telling you, just back test it for yourself. It's a very sensitive level. Sometimes you can get pip entries off the 50%. So you got to be very mindful about that when you're actually trading. That's all I'm saying. And then whatever I'm telling you, back test it. Back test it. Go back in your chart. Go back in your charts, look at the 50%, see what it's doing in certain ranges. See what it's doing. And then take notes of it. And then and then upgrade your trading strategy. It's very powerful. Like it was one of my aha moments. Now you don't see it on my chart as often. I don't use it because it's embedded in my mind. Like I don't my chart is naked for a reason because I don't need any annotations and things like that. So yeah, you may not see it on my charts commonly, but sometimes I'll throw it on there every now and then. But just understand that eventually you'll get to that point where you don't even need the PDRA matrix. You'll understand overbought and oversold conditions and when to sell and buy and things like that, and the reversal signals and things like that. That's going to come. But hopefully this was informative, and you can add this to your trading journal and become better at what you do. But let me close this out. For homework, I just want you guys to. Okay, hold on. One more thing before I go. Let's do this. I want you guys to okay, let's get this going. Okay, load up. We got a lot of time. So I want you guys to get this. If you guys want to actually the field level, there you go. Yeah, guys, I do not use my tablet to trade. Like this is a dummy account, and this is why I don't like using it. But I'm finna, I'm finna show you guys the settings. There you go. So this is my PDRA matrix settings. So if you guys want it on your chart, you can just take notes and so you can see how it's done right. Write it down and then you can put it on your chart. I have a great 50 line and I got, it's pretty cool. So you guys can have that for a treat. It took me like days to actually do this, so it's gonna save you guys some time. So you guys really want a PDRA like that, then run that. You can. Then you go. That's the settings. So that's really about it for today. Okay. Peace. See you next session.